So this is Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat of the vision. It's the last Shabbat before Tisha B'Av, the day when we acknowledge generations of devastation and pain, suffering, and we mourn for all that continues to be wrong with the world. This coming week at Tisha B'Av services, we will sit together with the lights dimmed in this room, surrounded by candlelight, sitting together as we chant Eicha, the Book of Lamentations, feeling grief that is both historical and present. And Shabbat is meant to be a taste of the opposite, a break in the humdrum of the week to experience the world the way we imagine God might have experienced the seventh day after creation, by looking at what we have created over the past 6 days and giving ourselves the gift of rest imbued with beauty. Shabbat is supposed to be this foretaste of the perfect world we want to someday experience, a chance to simply be with loved ones and community, to nourish each other, to sing and pray and be content and enjoy the world. Shabbat Chazon is called the Shabbat of Vision because the Haftarah, the weekly reading from the prophet Isaiah for tomorrow, describes a vision, and that vision begins with destruction. Chazon Yeshayahu ben Amoz asher chaza al Yehuda v'Yerushalayim, the vision of Isaiah, son of Amoz, who had a vision, who prophesied, concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And the beginning of his vision is seeing a sinful nation, an am keved avon, a people weighed down, literally heavy with wrongdoing. He was shown a vision of a Jewish people being precise about bringing offerings and incense to the temple, doing all the sort of check the box of things they feel like they're supposed to do. But Isaiah saw that they were being apathetic in the face of actual human suffering. Isaiah reports seeing leadership plagued by greed, and people turning away from any responsibility for justice in the community. And his vision goes on to describe judgment, divine judgment and retribution that will devastate the people. Land laid waste, cities burned down, corruption, people in need, and no care. So Shabbat Chazon, right? It sounds so beautiful, the Shabbat of vision, but how do we dwell on this kind of a vision? And how do we do it on Shabbat when we're supposed to be the oneg Shabbat, the phrase oneg Shabbat, right, is like delighting in Shabbat. We're supposed to make it the most beautiful day of the week, to buy the best bread, to drink out of the most beautiful cup. And yet we're enmeshed in this vision that Isaiah shares with us of corruption and destruction and despair. But fortunately, Isaiah's vision does not continue to be relentlessly terrible. It's not quite like turning on the news. He absolutely saw disaster approaching. And even though the prophets didn't always get every detail right, they did see and tell people very unpopularly when devastation was in the future. But devastation is not the only vision he speaks of. The destruction is not the end of the story. There's the promise of something better if people are willing to work for it. But it's an overwhelmingly scary moment. And it's unclear if the people will be able to hear Isaiah, much less do the work. As we prepare to move into this week that will include Tisha B'Av, we feel heaviness around us today that comes from too many visions of too many possible types of devastation. Every time I open up social media, I am reminded of terrible things happening in many different parts of the world. Many of those things feel too big to fix. And if you have those awful pop-up notifications on your phone, like my mother does, which I swear I'm going to turn off the next time I see her, turn those things off. They're terrible, right? We're being deluged with visions of misery. It's not good. It's not good for when we come to Shabbat and we need to create joy. It's so easy to focus on the worst of what is happening and to get overwhelmed by the amount of need, how much unkindness, how much apathy there is. But we know we need vision to sustain us through whatever will come, and we need that vision to be a different kind of vision. And there is a small chance that I might need the cantor to finish this for me. Isaiah's vision continues. He promises that God will forgive the people if they repent and dedicate themselves to caring for others and restoring goodness to society. Isaiah says, Wash yourselves clean. Put your evil doings away from my sight. Cease to do evil. Learn to do good. Devote yourselves to justice. Help those who are wronged. Uphold the rights of the orphan. Defend the cause of the widow. Come, says God, let us reach an understanding. For those of you who know me well, you know that not being able to talk easily is torture. Oh, man. Right now we know there are, for example, entertainment executives making billions of dollars off of the stories that feed us, who don't think that the writers who make those shows deserve to be paid for the work they do in creating them. Their greed tells them that, they have earned millions from a popular show that we talk about and that becomes part of our popular culture, even as the writers that created it are working 5 jobs and are having trouble feeding themselves. And at the same time, we know there are thousands of writers, actors, tech folks, and others in the streets every day to say that the art we create is valuable and to share a different vision for what this could look like. Oh, man. I just did that one for, and then that. I'm great, thank you.
This is
It's a good team.
This is what I thought when Rabbi Kleinbaum said that I would be the voice of CBST. This is exactly what I was expecting. So now it's fulfilled. So as the rabbi was saying and as the rabbi wrote, and I will now describe to you, right now there are plenty of people in the United States who are working their hardest to take our rights away. Those who are Jewish or Muslim, those who are LGBTQ+, those who want to have bodily autonomy. And at the same time, there are so many people who see the dangers clearly and work every day towards a very different vision. Right now, the Prime Minister of Israel and his extremist buddies are on the verge of destroying any democratic norms that protect minority populations in Israel, and turning it into a real theocracy for Israelis, and even worse than it already is for Palestinians. And at the same time, right now, many thousands of Israelis are making a democracy pilgrimage on foot from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and there are hundreds of thousands of people going out to the streets week after week because they have a different vision.
This is not usually what page turning for Sam looks like.
In moments of dreading the worst, what keeps us going is a different kind of vision, and Isaiah also teaches us this. Fear narrows our vision, but the times when we're going through terrible things are exactly the times when we need to look forward, to expand our sense of what might be possible, to give ourselves the strength to keep going and believe that there will be good days ahead. Our ancestors, thankfully, kept going. And we, no matter what the world throws at us, will keep going. And sometimes, like on Wednesday evening, we will sit together and mourn the things that are lost. And sometimes, like on Shabbat, we will come together in joy to sing and pray and have visions of what the world could look like and how we might make those visions come to be. Shabbat Shalom.